You got to be able to run your camera. They have their headsets on. Why don't we go live after the national anthem, Robert?
Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a country like no other. We ask everyone to please rise, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Got it, Rob.
Today's starting lineups. First with the visiting Bexley Lions. Number 1, Collier. Number 3, Owen Rupp. Number 4, Austin Scher. Number 6, Jake Brignan. Number 11, Felix Underwood. Number 12, Jack Dawson. Number 13, Grant Allen.
Welcome, folks, to Indian Hills Stadium, where I'm Rob Young with Mike Fruland, bringing you men's lacrosse, taking on the Bexley Lions today at Tomahawk Stadium. Mike, great day for lacrosse, about 60 degrees, sunny. We're finally to lacrosse weather.
It's the way it's always supposed to be, Rob, but it never seems to happen in spring in Ohio. But this is the first day we've had of actually perfect, beautiful weather for lacrosse. So.
Well, the Braves come into this game taking on Bexley, who's down from the Columbus area today. Need a win today?
Yeah, we do. We had a difficult schedule to start, as we always do, coming in, playing a bunch of D1 teams, and lost one, won one, lost a couple. But we're making a recovery now. They're 4-5. A win today will put them at 500 going forward to the race to the playoffs. So this is an important game for the psyche of the players, and I'd like to think they can get one here and not look past this Bexley team, who's had a difficult year. But it's hard to judge because they're playing a completely different group of opponents than we are. We can't really do a good comparison.
So facing off for the first face-off for the Braves is going to be number 24, Patrick Harris.
Patrick has been stellar in the last couple of games. I think he's lost 2 face-offs in the last 2 games. In the last game, he went 21 out of 22, and the only one he lost was a violation on his part. So
there he goes, another win.
Starts off just the
Harris
way.
Picks up the ball. He's going to pull it back, get the offensive setup for the Braves, who've got.
It's Alex Major bringing the ball up. Alex has had an incredible year so far in the transition game, playing a transition midfield role, getting the ball up to the offense. Has been really, really doing a good job. Xander Johnston bringing the ball from X, and that's sophomore Duke Weiler to freshman Charlie DeGennaro back over to junior captain Cole Warbrick, down to Sam Richardson at the other attack spot. And that's a feed from Xander Johnston to Wyatt Fruland for the first goal, and that's a good sign. Rob, they're moving the ball well, and they're looking for their openings.
Well, that's all you can ask is, this game is won by possession, and the ball always moves faster than the defender.
Yep.
So passing and moving off ball is going to be critical for the Braves for the rest of the season.
Very much so. The game's coming. The game's in front of us. We've got Seven Hills on Wednesday, and they have a very tough defense, apparently. They haven't been scored on much, so we're going to have to work really hard on moving the ball like that. But here's Patrick Ferris again at the X.
And you got Cooper Leschek playing long stick.
Cooper picked up a pole this year and he's got a number of ground balls and is actually adopting that role pretty well. We talked to Cooper, I think, last year and suggested that's a possibility, and he jumped right on it. Vander working his way around. Oh, shot off cage by Wyatt Fruland, number 9. Xander got the ball checked away. Wyatt picked up a ground ball and fired it at the cage. Oh, another shot. I don't know, is that on cage?
That was on cage. Nice stop by the goalie.
Okay, so Bexley's bringing the ball up the field. Let's see if they can get the ball in their offensive end.
And it's going to be a turnover on the transition.
Cole Werbrick has been a dynamo this year in just that play right there, stopping the other team from getting the ball into their zone, but they do clear it. So it's a successful clear for Bexley.
Let's check on the ball handler, passes it off to Miller Osball.
Oh, and a goal by number 8 from Bexley, right over the top corner of Brooke McClay.
In cage today for the Braves is Brooke McClay.
Senior captain Brooke McClay.
And you've got Miller Osball, and it looks like
Jaden Anderson, number 11, and you got Tyler Johnson, junior Tyler Johnson in the middle.
If there's one area that the Braves, lots of injuries this year. You've got several guys out with ACLs. You've got guys out with concussions. We're a thin squad as it is, so they've got to play smart.
What are we doing here? Oh, false start. So Alex runs up, takes the ball. Patrick runs to the sideline. Sammy Richardson rolls around to freshman Charlie DeGeneres. We're looking for big things from Charlie. He's got a lot of tools. Very confident, fast, good shooter, smart player. Oh, feed to Sammy Richardson. Couldn't quite handle it from Cole Werbrick, and it went into the crease, and the goalie picked it up.
Bexley on the clear. Pressure brought by the Braves.
Xander Johnston picks up the loose ball, fires it across to Cole Werbrick, and here go the Braves. Oh.
Fruland with a shot off the mark.
Off cage. Sammy Richardson backs it up. Start it at the X and bring it up.
Nice feed to Wyatt for another score.
Looks like their off-ball defense is not as sharp as it should be, Rob, and that's something that we've been working on our defense this year is to prevent some of the goals like that against teams such as the boys from down the hill. The Marymount Warriors.
Who moved that ball very well.
They move the ball that way, and they score a lot of goals on the inside. So that's. I
was looking at some of their stats, and of course, high school lacrosse stats sometimes can be iffy, but according to their own stats, 67% of their goals are off of assist.
Yes, that's a good number, and that's the number that that was a jump by Patrick. So there's a face-off loss for Patrick Ferris. You don't see that very often.
And Bexley's going to bring it fast down into the offensive zone here. Back behind X as the Braves set up, and Bexley scores.
Another goal, number 12. It's kind of a duplicate of what we just saw at the other end, Rob. Just what I was saying. We
didn't slide. We didn't cover the open man, and the slide came late, and they were able to capitalize on it. So it's a 2-2 game here with 9:04 left, Mike. The Braves are – it's hard to believe that we are at the end of April. It looks like the winter that was never going to end has finally ended. The Braves, we're going to be in playoff mode here. What in 2 weeks?
Couple weeks, and we'll be ready for the playoffs. Tough guys have had a couple violations in a row now. Let's see if they can get it back on track.
Ferris pops it out behind himself, picked up by Alex Major.
That's been very successful.
We got to get the touch. Alex is going to bring it into the box behind the cage.
And points.
Yeah. I just like it. So the Braves are going to pull it up out top to set up their offense, and
That's Ridge DeMullion, another freshman midfielder who's got the body of a senior. He's wait till you see him shoot, Rob, if you haven't had the opportunity to watch him yet this year. He'll scare the best of goalies with his outside shot. There's Xander on a move to the inside and a nice shot. Backed up by Jack Wilson, number 3. Brad Upham up at the top midi spot now, number 25. Sammy Richardson dodging his man. Working around. Dodge. Inside, score. Unassisted
Nice
goal by Sammy. He's been really doing a good job this year, and he's had big shoes to fill with the departure of Fixler from last year. He was one of our leading scorers, and Sam is the guy that has had to fill that role, and he's done an excellent job of stepping into that position.
So it's 3-2 with 7:36 left here in the first quarter. Couple former Braves playing in action today at the college ranks. You've got Matt Young down at Florida Tech. You've got Patrick's older brother, Phil, playing for Lenore Rhine. Both teams are looking to advance into the NCAA tournament this year. They're both ranked in the top 10.
Playing each other today?
They are not.
Okay.
St. Leo and
okay.
Florida Tech,
Patrick,
the number
Patrick
5 and 9 team, are playing each other.
Wins one going forward, up to Sam. Sam will take it, get the touch, and bring it around the back. Going to X. Let's see if they're still working on the backdoor cutting. Oh, he stepped out of bounds.
So it'll be an unforced turnover on the Braves as Bexley's going to pick this ball up. Let's see how well the Braves ride here on the clear.
We haven't had a... Come on, Brad's got to come over and stop that. Wyatt's... Stay onside. Oh, nice little flip pass by number 13, Bexley, down to number 8. He's going to take it back, get his touch, and take the ball to X.
Yeah, the
Another
Braves,
goal. The same goal. They've scored.
You had the 3 crease defensemen with their back to the shooter. The outside defender, long stick midi, failed to get inside the offensive player and cost him a goal.
Yep, I'm sure this film will be real valuable at the end of the day to show Coach McKay and AJ to see exactly what's coming.
You know, I know Coach is missing some of his defenders that he was counting on this year. You've got Graham Weiler, who's out with a knee, Josh Young, who's out with a knee all season. Got some guys that have stepped up, like you said, Cooper Leschak.
I got a couple of freshmen that have actually filled in very nicely. I haven't seen either one of them on the field yet, but there's another violation, so that's going to be a face-off win for Patrick. He flips it to Alex Major, who will bring it into the offensive end and got his way to the touch. Xander Johnston on the wing, bringing it around. Oh, he's got his man beat. Oh, nice shot.
Sweet.
Sting that corner.
Sweet over-the-shoulder shot against the goalie. Off stick side.
Put it right
Great
where,
angle, right in the corner. Painted it.
Put it right where Mama keeps the cookies.
That cookie jar is broken. So the Braves go up 4-3. We'll see if we can get a clean face-off here so Patrick gets a little bit of practice.
Yeah, he needs practice. He's on schedule to go well over 100 ground balls this year. Not just, he's already, I don't know what his number is, 150, 160 face-off wins already, but he's going to be on track to go over 100 ground balls this season.
Ferris pops it up to himself. He's going to bring it into the box, dishes it off to Wyatt Fruland, who's going to bring it up top to set up the offense. Going to pull his guy out here.
Hurting his guy up top.
Wyatt slips, keeps control of the ball.
Really? He lost it. There's a
there.
turnover there. Oh, what's the call?
They played him on the ground.
Ah, okay. That on. Don't know. We're watching to see.
Technical.
Oh, he must have said something or.
So number 14 is going to get called for a technical, or maybe it's number 13.
Looks like 13's going to the penalty box.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's I don't know. Is that a 30-second? There must be. It's just a technical, so it's 30-second. I don't. Did he throw the ball? I don't know what happened.
I'm not sure.
He might have flung the ball. Cole Warbrick. Oh, hits
the cage. That's going to go into the offensive side.
That's all right. Jack Wilson comes back and picks it up and brings it back to the offensive end. Here comes a shot.
Fruland with a bounce skip into the cage for his 150th point of his high school career.
Yep, that was a nice play. Their man-up play has been a little suspect this year for some reason. With all the offensive weapons we have, it hasn't seemed like we've been all that efficient. We've been much more surprisingly efficient at our man-down defense, Rob. Our man-down numbers have been much better than our man-up. We're about a 67% success rate on man-down and about the opposite on man-up. So you would kind of think that it would be the other way around. But Rick wins the clamp, turns around, and Alex will pick up the ground ball. He's been an absolute force this year in this role, Rob. And he hasn't really had to play much defense yet, but when you watch him play defense, he's Alex Major. He is a lockdown midi defender. I'd like to see some of the freshmen get some shots off here. They're itching. Charlie DeGennaro, I can see him up there.
Feed from Richardson to Fruland. So Richardson with the assist. Fruland with the goal for his 151st point, and I believe his 95th goal of his high school.
Something like that.
Assist on that goal, number 14, Sam Richardson.
He is 96th.
96. I was off by one. I got it from a good source, though, that it is his 96.
Are you bored with this one already?
So the Braves are up 6-3. Bexley's going to take a timeout here as the Braves' offense is looking good. Defense was a little susceptible on two of those three goals. We'll see how they do. But again, best defense is possession. If you can possess the ball, you don't have to worry about it.
That's absolutely true. The possession game is huge, especially for us this year with some of our competition. If the more we can control the ball and possess the ball, the better off we're going to be.
Well, and when you have somebody like Patrick Ferris at the X, he gives you a leg up because you're guaranteed that possession almost every time. Now you got to convert that into goals.
Right. They've been doing a really good job efficiency-wise on that. We need to carry that forward to into the playoffs when we start facing some more stout competition. But no problem getting the face-off clamp and the face-off wins. It's getting the ball possessed and getting
Ferris
it.
with the clamp,
That-
pitches out behind him. Major with the ground ball, picks it up and is going to bring it into the offensive end for the Braves. And he gets the touch, dumps it off to Xander Johnson.
Xander back in the X, and he's bringing it around to Wyatt. Wyatt's got it up. That's Ridge. He can shoot from there. I'd almost like to see him do. I'm sure Tim wouldn't like that, but he's in range, Rob.
If the shooting lane's open, fire away.
He is absolutely in range from there if you watch him. He can go left or right. He's just got a gun.
Ridge dumps it off to Fruland. Fruland's going to bring it back up top to invert his man.
Jack Wilson out on the wing is going to take a run down the alley.
Pulls it back out, dumps it down to Xander.
They're just moving it around. I like what I'm seeing. They're moving the ball around, looking for a good opportunity to get out of there. Zia, that's got to be a hold, doesn't it?
You would think.
Lord, that's a goal.
Xander picks up the garbage.
That's not a
goal.
That's not a hold. That's a goal.
That's a goal. So 7-3 as Xander Johnson loses the ball, picks up the ground ball, so he will get credited with the ground ball and the goal. Maybe we ought to call it an assist to yourself.
I don't know if you can actually do that.
I don't know either.
Now, if he were credited with the ground ball, don't we also have to give him a turnover?
Yeah.
So I don't think it was because they didn't gain possession. So it wasn't a turnover, so therefore it wasn't a ground ball.
There you go.
I don't know. There's some little...
Well,
I think he'd rather just have the goal than have a turnover, ground ball, and a goal.
Exactly. So Ferris pinches it out to himself.
Goes straight ahead this time. Uh-oh.
So Fruland shoots and scores. So that goal comes in less than 3 seconds off a Ferris pinch and pop to himself and a...
That was surprisingly little defense there. Yeah. They didn't collapse at all on that one.
So it's 8-3 very quickly here in the first quarter. We got about 4 minutes left in this quarter, which is hard to believe. There's already 11 goals scored in the first quarter, and we're only halfway through it.
Oh, boy. Well, if they can, the Braves can continue on this pace, I would certainly like to think that Coach McKay is going to get some of his younger guys in here pretty early, which is good for them. And I think it's good for the team going into the playoffs to have some more depth. We have a very, very talented younger group. Varsity experience is invaluable going into the playoffs.
Ferris popped to himself again. He's going to bring it down to Fruland, who's going to bring it up top, invert his defender. He's going to run around, dish it off behind himself to Xander, who takes a nice wind up and a score.
It's nice, good ball movement.
So it's 9-3 with 3:57. That one took 6 seconds to score. At this pace, we could see a first quarter 20-goal game.
Yeah. The 3 goals on the other side are the 3 that honestly baffle me, Rob. It doesn't seem like they've scored 3 relatively easy goals when they got the ball at the offensive end.
They did. Our defense was
sleeping.
Well, I don't know that they were sleeping. They were definitely confused and did not have their coverage and did not get set up correctly. Ferris pops it out to himself. Looks like
Round. Alex is in there. Fight. Oh, is that Alex on the wing?
That was.
No, it's not. That's Schwannekamp, sophomore Schwanny. That's got to be a push. They're still playing.
Yeah,
Cooper Leschuk picks it up.
Patrick, this game does not stop for a technical. You keep going.
Get out of there, Patrick. Run away. There's got to be a flag.
Another push, and
that's
going to be a push with possession. So the Braves are going to go man up.
And Coach McKay's hat goes off for the first time.
Coach, they flew through the flag. You don't need to take your hat off. So
that was inevitable, Rob. As much as Now, Coach McKay has a long history of throwing his hat when he thinks a flag should have been thrown. I keep saying we need to get him a yellow hat.
Wilson with the
Jack
shot.
Wilson firing from
and
out.
A nice stop by the keeper. Another
All right,
shot on
let's,
goal for the Braves quickly.
Here's another ride opportunity. Let's see if our attack line can get aggressive and ride here. What do we got? We got Duke Weiler at left attack right now. There's a pass up and a nice clear. Bexley does a nice job of getting. There's Miller Elspa greeting the guy and taking the ball from him.
Turnover by Osball. We'll bring this ball up. Let's see if we can get a successful clear.
I think Miller's going. Miller's going. Come on, Miller.
Miller to Fruland. Fruland pulls it back out, dumps it inside to Major, who gets.
Oh, well, I don't know where that came from.
It's going to be Braves ball.
I don't know what happened to that. Did somebody scoop that?
Somebody scooped it, but I don't think it was us.
Okay, must have just been a kick or something. Here's Xander going inside, wrapping around. Oh, and lets it go. Sammy Richardson's got it backed up.
So it's 9-3 with a $1.52 left here in the first quarter. Hey, let's give a big shout out to our sponsors of Indian Hill Television Network. We've got the BBT Bank and Cleecamp Paving, Weiler Automotive, and Grasscore this quarter being brought to you.
Oh, a feed over to Sammy, a little short. That's going to be a turnover. Wyatt Fruland, short pass. Sammy couldn't short hop it, and it rolls out of bounds.
So Sammy.
That's one of those good idea, just a little short on the pass. So here comes Bexley charging up again. Shot, that's going to be backed up by Brooke. Oh.
They're going to award it to Bexley.
I can't necessarily agree with that call, but okay. Okay, Tyler Johnson playing back on the guy at X.
That's an angle call, Mike. Our angle looked like him, and
geometry call, Rob. There's only one right answer.
Well, it wasn't the right angle, that's for sure.
Math doesn't lie.
Yeah, I think.
Anyway, here's Cole.
Two things if we're gonna talk about that. Number one, if Brooke was closest to the end, it should have been Braves ball, but they awarded it to Bexley and they held the start until Brooke got back to the cage, which is not the rule. That should have been a fast start.
If the goalie is in, here's another pass and another goal. Xander Johnston on a feed from Wyatt Fruland for another goal. Actually, if the goalie is involved in the play on the out of bounds, he has 5 seconds to get back to the goal, and they'll count it down before they'll award.
So that's at the high school level.
At the high school
college level, that is not the case.
At college, it's all fast starts, and I know there's supposed to be more fast starts at the high school level. They just don't seem to do it very often.
So that must be an Ohio rule? Because if you
I don't think. I think it's U.S. Lacrosse. I think it's a U.S. Lacrosse rule, the 5-second count.
Yeah.
Only if it's a goalie. Only if it's a goalie. If the goalie's involved in the play at the out of bounds or the end line, they give him 5 seconds, and they'll count it. They'll start counting 1, 2, 3 with their arms. Here's Patrick taking another face-off. And he shoots.
And a good stop.
With 42 seconds left, Patrick lets go like there was no time on the clock.
Well, he wanted a goal.
Yeah, but he usually is capable of getting one, but he needs to be a little bit more patient than that. Here's another turnover. Oh, Cooper runs past the ball.
And it will be a turnover.
This is Schwanekamp with the ball.
To
Wyatt, to feed to Cole, to score. That was a nice fast break. That was a nice fast break.
That assist to Fruland.
That was
a great.
We got a Bexley guy down holding his knee. I hate this, Rob. Seen way too much of this year, and so have you.
Yeah. And it looks like it's a guy already with a bum knee.
Yeah.
Which is as a guy that's had 2 of those.
Yeah. No,
and a son that's had 3 and another son that's had 1. It's never fun to see a guy go down.
Had way too much of that here in Southwest Ohio in the past 12 months.
You know, technology is great, Mike, and obviously back in the old days, guys probably blew their knee out. They didn't know what it was, so there's some of that. But I really think the technology with turf and the shoes.
Don't have a monitor.
So we're going to have a replay of that Fruland to Warbrick goal here. So we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty. If you got to,
he's getting back to his feet.
if you couldn't see if you got to see it online here, that was a great play that we were just talking about where. So the Bexley player is being helped off the field here.
Yeah, I didn't see the guy go down or how it happened, but
So the Braves are up 11-3 here. Bexley's pole has gone down. It looks like with a knee injury. We'll hope that he's doing well, Michael.
as I said, we've seen an awful lot of that in our area in the last 12 months. We've had now, as of a few weeks ago, both Scherzinger brothers have gone here ACL injuries that were season-ending last year, and now his brother this year. Kyle Beasley from Loveland, a good friend of our boys, went down last year, and he's back to 100% now, as is Henry Scherzinger, back to 100%. So the technology has improved to the point that they do seem to be coming back to full strength in a shorter period of time than they used to.
I don't know that Henry should be back. I watched some film, and he does not move the way he does, and he can't straighten his leg all the way. If you watch him run, he doesn't get a full extension on his leg, which is not a good thing to be playing on.
He plays so hard that I'm afraid for him sometimes when I watch him, because he's so hard. I'm afraid he's going to hurt himself again. Oh, and Patrick Ferris loses a faceoff clean to the Bexley.
And as we mentioned earlier, we've got two guys at Indian Hill out with ACLs.
Yeah, I hadn't finished. We got Josh Young, who it wasn't lacrosse related; it was basketball related, but he's out, and he's been out for the whole season. And Garrett Anderson. Oh, it's the end of the quarter, end of the first quarter, Rob.
End of the first quarter. It's 11-3 Indian Hill Braves. But yeah, Mike, I honestly think, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physiologist, I'm not a.
I thought you were a doctor.
Well, Dr. Welby is my name.
I thought you were a doctor. All these years I've known you, and you're not a doctor. No. Oh.
But some people mistake me as Dr. Welby.
So, okay.
So we'll leave it at that. But I think the turf is so good and it grabs so well, gives great traction. It makes it a fast, fun game to watch. And I think the technology on the cleats have gotten so good that there's no give. When I played baseball, I'd go to cut, and if the grass gave way, I slipped. But
well, if you remember, and I'm sure you do, because you're as old as me, almost.
No, I'm not as old as you. Let's get this straight. Wait. Let's get this straight. I was not even a teenager during the 60s. So let's just get that straight, okay?
Okay. Back in the days of AstroTurf. Do you remember
I remember AstroTurf.
The wonderful invention AstroTurf?
Yeah, the concrete green.
It was basically concrete with green carpet over the top of it. And it was in the NFL was primarily where it was used. And it lasted for a long time. But the problem with that was the impact of players landing on AstroTurf. Then they came up with all these new turfs to solve the impact problem. But you're right. I think what's happened is the technology's gotten so good from a grip standpoint that the human body is just not built to withstand the type of pressures that are put on the cuts and the moves that these guys are making. And they're all getting bigger and stronger. The athletes are bigger and stronger, and they're putting more pressure. And unfortunately, there's nothing you can do to make your ligaments stronger.
Well,
muscles,
in 1988, when I blew my knee out, the doctor told me, he said, the weakest joint in the human body that takes the most abuse because it wasn't designed to walk the way we walk today is the knee.
Right. That makes perfect sense.
But the technology has come a long, long way. When I did mine back in 1988, again, it was supposed to be, I had friends that did theirs 2 weeks before I did mine, and they were in leg casts. solid cast
Right.
from the hip down to the foot for 6 to 8 weeks. I was in a brace, and I was in a machine called a passive motion machine that they still use today. It was brand new in '88, and it was supposed to be a 12-month recovery that hopefully I would be back to 100%. I was able to come back and run my mild test.
Oh, Nick. Wyatt passes back to Nick Adair, freshman, now in at X at attack, and he mishandles it, and it bounces out of bounds. Let's see if we can ride and get this ball back. Happy to see some of the freshmen get
Fruland tries to push his Bexley player out of bounds, who's going to bring it up, and our defense is not set.
That's the one reason that Wyatt's not a defensive midi.
I thought he was an attackman.
Yes. That's why.
He doesn't like to run.
Oh, no, he likes to run. He just isn't. He's not the best at one-on-one defense. Oh,
nice stick check there by Miller.
Beating up his guy in the middle. They're continually throwing to the middle, though, Rob. I can see how they scored their first 3 goals is they're forcing it to the middle, which another opponent of ours is very adept at that. So
they've obviously scouted us.
Yes. Jack Wilson will bring it back into play. Brooke McClay back up to Jack Wilson coming down the wing, and he's going to get across midfield. And
that should be an offsides on Bexley.
Touch. Or 6. Oh, did he cross?
And number 1, even though he went out of bounds, he went across the midfield line to the other side. It's
like to think the refs are going to give him a pass.
They did give him a pass. They didn't call it.
Sam Richardson are playing patty cake back there on the wing, trying to figure out who should take the ball. Comes up to Jack Wilson and back out to Cole Werberg, who's going to take a dodge here. I expect that he's going to take a shot, too. There it is. Oh, hits the goalie.
Nice save by the keeper. Let's get a good ride here, boys. I haven't seen a good ride yet today.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd like to kind of see an aggressive push here. This is where our defense should start, is right here, Rob. There's a good hit, and that was Nick Adair, freshman. He's aggressive.
Got numbers.
They're looking.
And they're going to pull it out.
Hey, we've
so Bexley's got it up top, and number 33 is going to fire and miss.
Page backed up by Bexley. Eric Person, senior Eric Person, is in at defense now, wearing number 8 this year in honor of his good friend Ryan Fixler from last year.
Well, it's obvious that is Ryan Fixler's jersey,
yes,
too.
It is. There's and Miller with another takeaway. He's so good with that stick. And Brooks going to work his way out, spin around to the back. Get it back to Miller.
Come on, we got to get clear. We'll bring it up to
Wilson's fielding the ground ball.
And there's going to be, I think this is going to be a 30-second penalty, a hit, and maybe a 1 minute.
Oh, no, he raised his elbow. This might be a personal. This might be a shot to the head, maybe, the way he raised his forearm.
It was also a hit on a defense.
Yeah.
An illegal body check.
Yep.
They're going to give him 1 minute.
It's not. It is releasable though, so it's not as severe as. Okay, so here we go, man up again, which we need because we've played, almost 3 minutes here, a little over 3 minutes in this quarter, and we haven't got a goal yet, Rob.
Well, I think that'll change quickly. The one thing I'd like to see the offense do a little better. When you're up 11-3, you can talk about the areas of improvement, though they've done well.
Wyatt Fruland decides
with
to
another
put a
goal.
number on the board. Well, if they're not going to come out and play you.
No, but at this point in the game, like you, I'd like to see some of the underclassmen out there getting some experience. But if we're going to keep the starters out on the field, I'd like to force those starters to move that ball around and see better off-ball movement on the offensive side. Because in the tournament play, when we get back against a team like Marymount, if you're not moving off ball, constantly, you're not a threat.
No, that's right. And it's funny, I was analyzing some of our last film against Archbishop McNicholas, and one of the things that we need to probably work on a little bit is our off-ball movement when the attackman's got the ball behind the cage at X, looking to pass the ball. What? Hold, it's going Bexley. Now how? Explanation from the official, and as usual, the official's right.
And I have no problem with a player asking for an explanation.
Sure.
Just don't argue with him.
Another
stop
nice
by.
feed, and here goes Brooke. Brooks moving up the field. He's going to feed it up to Alex, and here we go. Watch
Here goes
this.
the
This
fast
is
break.
4-on-3, up to Nick Adair, in for the goal. That's Nick Adair's first varsity goal, maybe?
All right.
Or has he got one? No, I think he got one last week up at Oakwood.
So that play is going to get scored. The goalie to the midfielder Major for the assist to Nick Adair for the goal.
That's nice to see, though. I like to see
That was
the
good ball
freshman
movement.
getting in. I was mentioning Alex's impact on the transition game this year. It has been spectacular. So
Yeah, he seems to have much better control of his stick and the ball when he gets. He's always been a great defender.
Yep.
It's when he gets that ball after he's done a great job of getting a takeaway and getting it into the offense.
Oh, Patrick! Oh, nice tipped pass, but Alex comes up with it and he takes it into the offensive end, gets the touch, kicks it back to Nick Adair at X. Nick's going to dodge his guy. Get out of there, Nick. Over to Sammy Richardson. Now here's Charlie DeGeneres, who kicks it off to Cole Warbrick. Got Duke Weiler coming in from the box. No look there. Goes Charlie taking a run. I suspect he's going to get a shot off. No, they're going to double him. He doesn't care. He's taking it anyway, and he scores.
That was a 5-hole shot.
That was a beautiful goal.
That was a shot from the bunker through the 5-hole into the goal.
That was nice.
That was a nice dodge and run. You know, and again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, when you are playing really, really good teams, you cannot have three guys standing in the middle of the field and a Dodger coming down in. You should. It's okay to start there, but as that Dodger's coming down the field, guys should be splitting out and moving the defenders with them, or creating space for themselves to get a pass to give the assist. Because by standing there, all you're giving the Dodger the opportunity to shoot, which is fine. Obviously, we scored the goal, but if it was a better defense, I don't know that he would have gotten that shot off.
Patrick jumps again. Patrick's lost 3 faceoffs. That's a lot for him in the whole game, and we're still in the second quarter, Rob. And Patrick opts to stay on to play D. I think he's frustrated and he wants to get a little action here. So let's see what oh yeah, there's Patrick's. And he forces a turnover.
Forced turnover.
How about that? That a baby, Patrick. And he wants to stay on, and no, he's going off now.
Coming out for the Braves is Ridge DeMullen again. I do like this freshman. He's big body, good stick skills.
As he drops the ball out of bounds. No, he got it. Now watch him go, Rob.
This is the
very
one thing I was
confident,
wondering,
very
does he have
strong.
good speed?
Oh, yes, he does. Are you familiar with Jake Stilsky from Kings?
Yeah.
He's very much like Jake. He doesn't necessarily look like he's going fast, but he leaves people in, out to Schwanenkamp.
Sophomore Schwanenkamp.
Across the middle.
Bruland dishes it.
Oh, there's to Brendan West, another freshman. Really like what we see from West this year. He's got very good stick skills, very good lax IQ. He's got a left hand and a right hand. And Schwani is there's a feed across to Brendan. Brendan's going to dodge the inside, dump it off to Wyatt, who's going to shoot and hit the pipe. Back out to Schwanenkamp. Kicks it down to Sammy Richardson.
Richardson feeds the middle.
Tries to feed Brendan, and it's a little bit too tight. Gets broken up and out of bounds. That's a tough one. That's a tough turnover on Sammy because it was a good pass, but you can't fault Brendan. He was tied up pretty good with the defender there. So Wyatt banging on his guy, the best of his Pac-Man abilities. Oh, there's a ball on the ground, and that's
And
Miller Elspaw with another pickup. Here we
the
go.
yard sale, Elspaw
Oh,
with the
is
ground
Miller
ball.
going to get one? Is Miller going to get one? Is Miller going to get one?
Shoots and
Yes,
fires!
Miller Elspaw with the score.
So it's 16-3 with 5:38 here. Always love it when a long stick scores.
Well, especially Miller, because he's so unselfish with the ball. He's really not the guy that's forcing the ball up the field to score. But I saw them dropping off and covering the other offensive players, and it just seemed like there was a crease there for him. I'm so glad that he took it in and scored.
Well,
because
you saw him. He's coming down. He hesitated a couple times looking behind him, and he's like,
Yeah.
well, okay, nobody's coming after me. I'm going.
He knows his role. He knows his job is not to be the offensive threat. But that's good. That's good for Miller. And Patrick's
Ferris with the face-off win again. Well,
back
there
on
you go.
track, kicks it over to Alex. Back to Cole Warbrick.
Weiler on the field.
Mullion coming in. And Nick Adair over on the wing. Wyatt's at X now.
You know, this is,
Richardson.
you know, we talk about, you know, the age of a team. This is a fairly young team, even when you've got all your starters out there.
It really is.
You're primarily a junior team who a lot of those juniors are getting their first experiences at defense. Some of the guys that you're missing are, you know, talk about Graham Weiler. You know, Duke Weiler has stepped up great this year, and it's going to be.
Oh, nice feed from Cole Warbrick to Wyatt Fruland on the opposite side of the crease for another goal. Cole has been spectacular this year on his. I think he's leading the team in assists, Rob. Which,
how many goals has Wyatt had today? So does that put him at 99?
I believe it does. But I think he's going out of the game, so that might be it for Wyatt for the day.
Well, no, we're only in the second quarter. Mike.
I know, but we've got other young guys that Tim's got to get in.
They've got to be able to play the JV game.
There's only 2 quarters today in the JV game, so there's no limitations today.
Why is there only 2 quarters?
Bexley requested it because they're short-staffed and they want to play the varsity game early because they got prom tonight, and then they didn't have a lot of guys remaining, so they requested. We did this one other time this year,
that's good.
where they play basically two 12-minute quarters, Rob.
Okay.
But it qualifies as a quarter.
Yeah.
So everybody can play. Patrick looks like he's hurt.
He just took a nice little whack to the back.
Well, this would be a good opportunity to sit Patrick down and get our sophomore face-off guy. And there's a flag
there's
down.
finally the flag. I was waiting. I was looking over at McKay. Where's the hat? Where's the hat? Because that was a nice. They got a couple good slashes in before they actually threw that flag.
Goes Xander Johnston working his guy. Oh, he's got Sammy. You didn't see him. Oh, and he flings it over Alex Major's head. Oh, it's a flag down. So, all right, we're going man up, and I think we're seeing an official substitution. Your man up team. Oh no, they're bringing the man up team back in. Here comes
Fruland, I'm
Mr.
sure.
Fruland for the man up. We got.
Well, let's see if Fruland can get his 100th goal of his high school career.
Jack Wilson starts the offense for the Braves.
Jack Wilson out top with Cole Warbrick. We got Wyatt and Cole rips a shot just over the top of the cage, backed up by Xander Johnston. Back up to Cole. Cole over to Wyatt. Wyatt shoots off cage, just wide. Sammy Richards got it backed up. Leave him there. And a goal. That would be it.
Was that Fruland?
Yes, it was.
I'm sorry. I was watching a college game.
They did the same thing they did before. They aren't covering the wingman.
I'll tell you here in a second as soon as the scoreboard comes back up. It's 3-2 Florida Tech leading the number 5 team in the country, St. Leo. So the Braves are up 17-3 with 3:38 left here in the game. As we have another face-off, Ferris at the X for the Braves, and he wins another face-off.
Kicks it over to Cooper Leschuk, who's bringing it up. Kicks it out to Sammy Richardson. Oh, nice fake by Sam. Kicks it back to Xander. Oh, he hit the defender, I think.
I think the defender got his
What was the
stick on.
call? What was the call? What is that call?
It's going against Bexley. I think it was called an illegal body check.
What? I didn't see it.
I think it was out here earlier.
Oh, I didn't see a flag down.
I didn't either, but
okay. So
but
now they're
the guy out here threw it, and we're looking. The post was in my way.
here. We go.
I don't have any good excuse for you.
Okay, you can make up anything. You can say anything you want, Rob.
Maybe it's the fact that you were born in the 50s.
Late 50s. Oh, nice feed to the middle. Oh, Jack Wilson tries to get the shot off and just
cage,
bounces
it'll be
over.
Xander with the backup. He's going to pick this ball up, and he'll bring it out to start quickly. Oh, no. There you go.
Oh, I thought. Nice feed. Oh, they're moving it around nicely. Cole rips a shot.
Off his own
I think
player's
he
back.
hits Jack Wilson in the back. That'll hurt.
That's gonna
Xander Johnston with a nice ground ball. I think he should take a shot now for that work. Come through that cluster and come out with the ball to retain possession.
Nice stop by the
Duke
keeper.
Weiler with a left-handed rip from the top.
That would not be a milkshake shot for him, though.
No.
He's a true lefty.
Yes, he is.
It looked like Xander got that guy to go out of bounds, but
There we go. Here's Tyler Johnson quickly throwing the ball up the field and Bexley recovering it. Look at they are almost completely looking inside for their feeds. You look at them; they're really looking to the inside to score. There's Cooper Leschuk having a little action in there with number 12, battling back and forth.
I don't know that that's friendly battling back and
No,
forth.
it absolutely isn't. They were Tyler Johnson on a real nice defensive effort. If that ball goes out, no, it doesn't. Give him a turnover, forced turnover there. Tyler's really shown an incredible amount of. There's
That's going to be a
off
shot,
cage about
and they're going to
10
award it
yards
to the
off.
Braves.
That's good hustle on Jaden Anderson. Oh no, they aren't. They're going to give it back
He
to
pointed
Bexley.
to the Braves.
Yeah,
Oh well.
I guess they got overturned. I thought Jaden had that. I thought he was over.
Off cage shot again.
Up with the loose ball behind the cage. Now we got a illegal pick, basically.
Well, that
what
was a
they're gonna call.
retaliation by the Bexley. It was really a retaliation.
That was the guy that was going at it with Cooper. Here's Tyler Johnson now bringing the ball up the middle. Let's see Tyler go. This is a little new territory for Tyler.
We're down to under a minute here in the first half, Mike, as the Braves lead 17-3. And big shout out to Dial 1. Everything but
There's
the
Charlie
house.
DeGennaro for another goal.
Sipsy Klein and Bob Summerall for this quarter's action.
Well, it looks like the entire second half will be running clock, Rob. So that, on one hand, Bexley will like that because they get to get back to their prom tonight a little bit sooner.
That's good. Talking of knee surgeries, you got Dave down there. It's not just limited to players.
No, it's not.
Parents.
You're right. I mean it.
But it
Doesn't affect the team quite as much when a parent goes down, though.
I think Dave would
Disagree with that?
with you on that one.
Okay, Patrick taking another face-off. I think he's got a little. He's kick out. Come on, Alex. That's it. That's the patented move this year. Patrick to Alex on the kick out. He wins enough going forward that the wingman from the other team has to play in a defensive position, which gives Alex Major a wide open ground ball.
So it looks like the Braves are going to hold this ball for the last shot. As Weiler brings it over to...
Here comes Ridge DeMullion in. I'd sure like to see him get one off, get a shot off, just to showcase the power that he's got in his shot.
We're down to 10
seconds. They better get moving here. Xander's got the ball at X. He's bringing it around. Get it to Ridge. Get it to Ridge. He's not going to do it. He's going to let
the Braves are going to let this clock expire. Okay. So after one half of play, the Braves are up 18-3 against the Bexley Lions here on this gorgeous day in Bravesland and Tomahawk. Big day for the Braves here at Indian Hill. You had the 5K Conquer the Hill run to start the day off. You've got tennis playing. You've got baseball playing. And I'm Rob Young with Mike Fruland bringing you IHTN Sports Network men's lacrosse game against the Bexley Lions. We're going to take a short break and intermission. If you're in the area, swing by, stop by the concession stand, support the Braves, and we'll see you here in a few minutes, folks.
Back shortly.
start the second half of play. We've got Patrick.
Robert, there you go.
Matching time for the Lions to take the face.
Welcome back, folks. This is Rob Young with Mike Fruland bringing you the second half action where Patrick Ferris just loses the first face-off, Mike.
That Patrick, he's just not that good.
So the Braves are winning this game 18-3. Do we know if the coaches agreed to a running clock?
Just choice.
It is for the third quarter. Both coaches, I just looked at the rule. Somebody told me third quarter they have to both agree to it.
Sure that Greg Leschuk and Greg Gould have got that under control downstairs. But they do usually announce it. We'll find out here as soon as the ball goes out of bounds if the clock stops, Rob.
Mm-hmm. So we've got a new goalie in cage.
Yeah, we had Henry Mayu, who's usually our starting goalie. We've got a really unique situation this year, Rob, where we got two goalies that are both really, really high caliber goalies. I'm pretty sure that he didn't go out for any reason other than that. Brooks a senior captain, and he's goalie and at LSM, and in fact, he's going to play in college as a goalie.
And
We had six goalies on the. Oh, another nice inside play,
nice
Henry
stop
Mayhew.
by Henry Mayhew.
Henry's got very, very quick hands, very good. Sees the ball very well on that instinctive inside stuff. Yes, he is a lefty.
Well, you know, I used to think that because Matt's a lefty. Florida Tech has four goalies, three of them are lefties this year.
Then it is unique if you're anywhere other than Florida Tech and you have a left-handed goalie because Florida Tech has them all.
That is true. But Indian Hill has had a history of left-handed
Yes, you're
goalies.
absolutely right.
You know, Matt was left-handed. You had his younger brother, Zach, who played up through 8th grade that was a lefty. Henry's a lefty.
What was Cam a lefty?
Cam,
I think Cam McMillan was a lefty.
I think he was a lefty too. And I'm trying to remember if AJ is a lefty.
That I don't believe. I've seen AJ shoot, and he doesn't shoot very well with his left hand, so
He's probably a righty.
hope so, unless that's why he's a goalie, is because he can't shoot.
And I know John Pipes was a righty.
Nice feed to the middle. Schwanenkamp kicks it back out to Duke Weiler.
So that you know, you cover AJ, John Pipes, Matt, Cam McMillan, all the way down to Henry Mayhew. That's actually almost 20 years of lacrosse at Indian.
Yeah, and that. Yeah, we're just. I think we're just spinning the ball around here, looking for the right opportunity. Here goes Duke on a dodge. Smart move to pull it back out as soon as he saw the double. Nick Adair on the wing, freshman Nick Adair. Duke on another alley dodge, lefty. Oh, and he drops the ball and turns it over.
And that'll be an unforced turnover.
Slipped.
Yep. It's okay. The one thing I would have liked to see is them quick when he dropped the ball down here.
Bexley quickly throws the ball out of bounds.
When Duke on the left-hand side here, when Duke passed it down to I believe it was Ridge.
Nick across. What a beautiful feed and finish there from Nick Adair to Brendan West. Freshman to freshman finish.
There you go.
Very, very nice to see some of our freshmen getting some good minutes here and being successful. on the field, not just getting good minutes, but actually producing. I just found out at halftime while I was grabbing a burger and a pop that our sophomore face-off specialist, who should probably be in now for the rest of the game, apparently is in concussion protocol. So
Who is that?
that would be David Borden.
Oh, David Borden's in.
Apparently, somebody just said that he thinks a concussion.
Well, a little unknown fact.
Cooper Leschuk trying to kick the ball loose to come out and get it. Patrick still after it. Oh, can't come up with it. Alex Major didn't know he knocked the ball loose. Cooper Leschuk knocks his man out of bounds. This is a scrum for the ball. It's going to be a whistle. It's going to be against Patrick.
No.
Oh, no,
Failure
it's
to
not. It's
advance.
failure to advance. They gave them possession, and then they dropped it. That's exactly the right call, Rob.
That is. So, little known fact, Dr. Borden, David's father.
Yes.
If you watch the movie that Will Smith played the doctor in on concussion protocol,
Yes.
the NFL?
Yes. That's right.
Dr. Borden was part of that team.
Yes, I know that. I've talked to him about that. That's really interesting.
He has a lot of knowledge when it comes to concussion protocol.
Okay, the player that just brought that ball up to the offensive end is Ken Devine. He's another freshman depot who has really shown a lot of promise.
Great athlete.
Just a great athlete. And he was unavailable for the first part of the year. He had a leg injury. I don't think it was a knee. It was an ankle.
No, it was.
We got Patrick Ferris now running the offense from the top, along with Brad Upham. Down to Nick Adair, over to Brendan West. And we got big Ridge DeMullion on the crease. I'm not sure what they're doing with Patrick out here other than just letting him play a little bit, because that's not his normal position.
Sometimes no news is good news,
A
but
lack of middies, so maybe Patrick just wants to run some offense. Look out, Patrick.
And he's going to have a cause turnover there. Well, no.
Nope, we got Nick Adair, hot man to the ball. Nick Adair kicks it out to Sammy.
He covers.
I think that offense. Oh, here's Ridge. Let one go, Ridge. Look at this.
One-handed.
He's got every weapon and tool that you can imagine. He's very strong kid. Very, very strong.
So it's a 19-3 game with 4:20 left here. Michael, I think we are on a running clock, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure that they are. I can't imagine that anybody would be opposed to that. Just want to see Ridge get the ball and finish a play. I'd really like to see him out top, sending one, but I don't know that Coach McKay is going to be allowing the guys ripping from outside the rest of the way. Brendan West back at X. I haven't seen Jack Vandersloot yet. 31, there's a skip pass over to Sammy. Pick up by Brendan to. Oh, they got to keep it in. They're being called for the stall. Out. Patrick's going. Oh. Sam. Back to Sam. They're just
Well, if I'm
cat and mouse
Bexley's
here.
defense, I push out and I force this issue with Ferris out top. You just keep pushing him out towards the top. He'll eventually end up stepping out because he needs some space to control the ball.
Set by Ridge DeMullion. That comes up with a ground ball. Flips it over to Sam. Here's going to be a. No.
I think he's got the reins on right now.
He must have, because that was a wide open shot by Sam, and at some point that you should just end it and go score, or take a shot or something.
Well, you got
There's
to
an
make
awful lot of time. I guess there's only 2 minutes left in the quarter. On the running clock, it goes pretty quick, Rob. This has been a very fast quarter.
Yeah.
Here's a shot. Come on, Reg. Nope, he's not going to let him.
Well, and we know that
they're
eventually,
clearly just stalling the quarter out.
and we know eventually that the high school game's going to see a shot clock.
Smart with the ball, guys.
You know, if I'm Bexley and I want to play this game and I want to keep the action going, I actually pull the goal. I pull the goalie and double the ball.
Almost threw the ball over Ridge's head.
I have the goalie come out and play defense. You don't have anything.
Here he goes. Oh, he didn't take it. There it is.
Smoking Ridge DeMol.
That's the one I was looking for.
So it's $1:20 left. The Braves go up 20-0.
That's the one I was waiting for.
Let's see if we can get a replay on that by any chance, Robert. So, Michael, you know, we were talking about it in the college game. There's a shot clock when the stall warning goes up. You got 30 seconds to make a move to cage. It's not keep it in. It's
still pretty subjective and pretty arbitrary. It's based on the officials deeming that a team is not trying to go toward the goal, and it seems like it's getting more and more consistent. But it's still, I think there still needs to just be a shot clock like there is in the MLL, where when you gain possession, you have 60 seconds or 90 seconds or whatever it is.
I think that's going to come because in the women's college game, there is a 90-second clock once you take possession.
Correct.
And they're talking, you know, they're starting at 90. They're talking that next year they may drop that to 60, and they may end up dropping it to 45. If the girls are going to institute that kind of shot clock, you got to think the men's game's probably going to do that as well.
Agree 100% that it probably would be good, and it'll take a year or two or three to trickle down to the high school level.
Well, I think if
but they won't. They don't usually implement college rules at the same time they implement high school. They usually take another year or so.
Well, the college shot clock's been going. This is their 4th season of the shot clock, and it still hasn't made it to the high school game. And the number.
Well, that's only women, though.
No, men have a shot clock.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. They do have a shot
But
clock.
that's been going on for 4 years. This is their 4th season. It hasn't trickled into the high school game. But the main reason, you know why it hasn't trickled to the high school game? Cost.
The equipment. Yeah, every school's got to have the equipment to do it. But the other thing that I've noticed, and maybe it's just that I've recently noticed it, I don't recall them ever having what just happened here, that the officials had the ability to call a stall. I think that's new.
I think that's new this year.
That's that's their answer to the shot clock is the stall warning, which is just keep it in the box. Which that's the most oppressive thing you can do to an offense is to make them keep it in the box.
Well, and that's why I was saying if I'm Bexley's coach, from a defensive standpoint, especially when you've got Patrick Ferris, and this is nothing against Patrick, he's a face-off specialist. He is not a ball handler for us.
Right.
That if he's going to play the top of that box, I'm going to force, as soon as he touches that ball, I'm going to force him out. I would bring, if the Braves are going to play this, you know, pass the ball around the horn, I'm going to pull my goalie and start doubling. I mean, I'm down 20-3. Now let's get aggressive with our defense and see if we can cause some disruption within reason.
All right, let's see what we got going here. Let's haven't given any love to Will Kleekamp, number 44, freshman D-pole that's been doing an incredible job for us this year. Hasn't had a lot of opportunity to be talked about today because, quite frankly, Bexley hasn't had the ball in offense a whole lot.
Right.
He's done a great job along with his freshman running mate, Ken Devine. They've been two very impactful defenders for the varsity this year, and we also have now
so Ferris is going to take the face off. Let's check with the long pole on the near side of the field, and what does Patrick Ferris do? He pops it up to himself. Dishes it off, and he's going to stay out on the offensive side again.
There's the other freshman D-pole. We've got an all-freshman D-pole lineup right now. The other one is Dan Brace, who just picked up a pole this year for the first time at the request of the coaching staff, and he's done a really, really nice job of transitioning from a a defensive short stick midfield position to a pole, and he's got real good size and good speed, and I think that's a really good thing for a freshman to pick that pole up now. It'll be really good things in the future for Indian Hill if you got those three guys on the field as freshmen already.
And that's we knew that was going to be an area of, it was an area of concern last year. We knew we had some young guys, at the sophomore freshman rank last year playing defense, but two of those guys are out.
Yes.
You got Weiler and Young both out,
Right,
which
right.
left a gaping hole because the upper class defensemen really were non-existent for this team.
But I think what's happened in the first now 10 games of the season is a turnover. Bexley, maybe. Nope. Sam's going to come back and fight for it. He's a scrapper down there, but Brad Upham with the ball, flipping it over to Nick Adair. Oh, that's got to be a flag. He really rocked the back of Brendan West. I hope he's okay. Hit him right square in the back with a hard check. Ball was gone too, so it wasn't even a. So we're gonna have a man-up play here. But my point was the freshman D-poles have done exactly what we needed.
Yep.
And furthermore, has really shown that the defensive future of the Braves is really bright. With the return of Josh Young next year, with the return of Graham Weiler next year, and we obviously still have Miller Allspaw, the leader of our defense. The defense is just going to be rock solid next year, and then with these three freshmen for years to come.
Well, and it'll be a different kind of defense that the Braves haven't seen in a long time. It will be a very fast, athletic defense. I mean, Miller Allspaw is going to probably be the biggest guy on the team, but he's got good speed and good footwork. And then you've got Graham Weiler, who once he's healthy will be speedy again.
Yes.
Josh Young's a speedy defender. You got Jaden Anderson that's a speedy defender, and all of them have good stick skills on top of it.
Surprisingly, not surprised. Brad Upham with the shot off cage, backed up by Brendan West. Good to see Brendan stayed in the game after that shot to his back. Ken Devine, we've noticed.
Oh, yeah.
His size and speed and stick skill, he would actually make a very good, big, strong LSM as well. So we've got lots of options.
Yeah, I
Goes
wasn't
Sammy off the cage.
Not taking anything away from those freshmen, but you got a freshman crew out there right now that's got good size.
Yes, very much so.
And and Ken Devine is a great athlete. So I mean,
Charlie DeMollion looking like
it will be a very athletic defensive end of the field, which should create great offense. We'll have a mature senior attack line next year.
Sammy's going to take another rip. That's going to go blue. Yeah, it is. No backup there. I was going to predict that the next time the ball hits Charlie DeGennaro's hands, he was going to take a shot. He was warming up and stretching his muscles the last couple times he got the ball, and it sure looked like he wanted to take one, but there'll be other chances for him.
So it's 20-3.
Already down to 7.5 minutes left. Oh, there's a flag down. They're going to go man up for the first time, Rob. We haven't had a penalty, have we, on us?
No, and I didn't see what it was.
It was a slash. I think it was a midfield slash.
And there was just trying to up them.
Oh, here's another one. Holy cow! What do we got now? We're gonna. Okay, that's. Are we going to be two men down, or is it
slash? 1 minute slash.
Maybe it's on the same guy, but I don't know that. Nope, you got two guys running. You got four guys running to the sideline. I guess none of them were on the man down.
Josh Austin's in cage now for the Braves.
Oh, another freshman. As I was going to mention earlier, we've got an abundance of goalies on the Indian Hill roster this year. You look at some other teams' rosters, and
we are two men down, so it was called on two different.
Yeah,
games.
It's on.
I think you got the first one right. That it was that midfield slash.
Midfield slash, and then Ken Devine must have Let's see if we can. This will be a good test for our guys.
Well, it's the one thing I do like about Devine. He is an aggressive defender.
Yes, he is.
And you are as
a nice feed and a quick stick, but it was off cage. Bexley's going to.
If you're going to play aggressively on defense, which you want to do, you're going to get
another
some
shot off
against
cage.
you.
Yes, you are. And I've always said, Rob, I'd rather have a guy that has that aggressiveness, because you can coach that down a little bit, as opposed to a guy that is meek and doesn't like to get into it. It's hard to teach that. Another shot off cage. Like they're not really making a huge effort to get it on the inside, which surprises me, because that seems to be their offense.
That'll be a score.
Oh, he snuck it in there as a score. So
Should waive both penalties off, unless they were.
See any full
Oh
time.
wait, we're on a running clock, so it is. Is it a? Nah, the first one's releasing.
I think they're both released.
Yeah, I think they have to be. So 5 minutes left here in the game, folks. Again, I'm Rob Young with Mike Fruland, bringing you the Indian Hill Television Network Sports Channel's broadcast of the Indian Hill Braves men's lacrosse team taking on the Bexley Lions, where they lead 20-3, and we've been on a running clock this half. Big shout out to the producers and directors of this. This is a student-run organization. It is produced and brought. 20-4. Thank you.
The guys in the keeping score downstairs aren't staying on top of it here. Patrick comes up with another face-off win.
So give a big shout out to our producer and director today, Robert. And
Robert Brunner, our superstar freshman goalie, who's been producing and directing today instead of playing. Now I'm hoping that he gets to suit up for the JV game, but it's likely he'd be in the goal right now if he'd been dressed for this game. But he opted to do what he's doing, which we greatly appreciate.
And then on camera you got Josh Young, Indian Hill lacrosse player, sophomore, who's been injured all year, and Kyle Sorley. So big shout out to all those guys. And the most important person of this whole thing is a lifelong educator here at Indian Hill, Mr. Dennis Dupps. Who I found out last week when I was in the booth doing the women's game. And I had Mike Wentz in the booth with me. I actually had Mr. Dupps all 4 years of his high school career, and that was 35 years ago.
Wow.
So that's how long Mr. Dupps has been around. We really appreciate Mr. Dupps. The kids love him. He does a great job of helping these kids put on great productions. I don't know how many Blue Chip Awards, which in local television broadcasting is the equivalent of an Emmy. Last year, I think they were up for like 24, and I think they won like 14 or 15 of them. This week coming up is the annual Cincinnati Blue Chip Awards, and I'm sure Indian Hill Television Network is up for a good couple dozen awards again this year. So our hats off to Mr. Dupps and the entire Indian Hill Television Club and Network.
Another
and
flag down. That was an egregious hold. I think he grabbed him with his hand and
I
held
think
him.
he's actually going to get. I don't think he's getting called for the hold. I think he's getting called for the slash on the back.
Oh, really? Because he reached out and literally reached out and grabbed Charlie DeGennaro with his hand.
If the flag is for the hold, it's a late flag.
Yeah.
But that flag came out.
No, he
right
was
after
reaching for it. I think his flag must have been pretty deep down in his pocket because he was looking for
Quit
it.
talking about the refs that way.
No, I don't think he was prepared. I didn't think he thought there was going to be a penalty. He was done for the day.
Well, the Braves are going to just move this ball around, as we've seen all quarter.
Now, inside of 2 minutes in a normal game, you'd be forced to keep it in, but you have to have a 4-goal or less differential in the game to keep it in. So I don't think you're going to.
No, and I think the Braves are just looking to wind this down, and
I would hope so. It'd be nice to to get some action for some of our
So,
younger
Mike,
guys.
who do the Braves have up next? What's the schedule look like this week for the Braves?
Wednesday is senior night against rival Seven Hills from down the street. And then...
Who just lost to CHCA.
But yeah, the biggest game we've got coming up probably is Saturday, which would be Summit. And again, they're kind of a question mark this year because again they lost one of their superstar twins. One of the Scherzingers is down, and they seem to be like a that's no, I think the JV team will be playing Kings the day that varsity is playing Summit. Don't have to keep it in now, unless he.
I think they called it.
It must take it, Charlie. Take it, Charlie. No, he's not.
So we're down to 30 seconds left here in the game, folks. The Braves have a big week up ahead of them. They play Summit next Saturday at Summit, I believe.
Oh, it's here.
Oh, it's here?
Yeah, here at Summit last year.
And that should we play Seven Hills on Wednesday at home, and I believe Turpin's away then, correct?
That is true.
So up for the Braves Wednesday. So the Braves are going to run out to grab their goalie, Josh Austin, as they take home a win 20-4 against the Bexley Lions. And it'll be another win for the Braves as we...
They're mobbing the goalie. I mean...
So, folks, I'm Rob Young with Mike Fruland. Mike, key for the Braves, obviously, possession. Did a great job of possessing the ball, but moving forward into the season, big game like you said on Saturday against Summit. Possession will be big, and we got to play a little tighter defense.
We've got to play a real tough defense against Summit. They've got some real offensive weapons. Even without one of the Scherzingers, they still have some other guys that can put points on the board. So defense is the key. Possession is always the key. Our transition defense and transition offense are very important to this team. To keeping the possession arrow on our end of the field is going to be the key this year. The offense has shown to be very capable of putting points on the board, and this is the third game in a row where our defense has only given up 4 goals. So
yeah, and great, but let's keep it in perspective. They only possessed the ball about 6 times.
Right.
So that's.
But as you said, your best defense is possession is offense. So.
Absolutely. So I'm Rob Young. We're going to sign off here so that Robert can get on to the JV game here with Mike Fruland bringing you Indian Hill Television Network's broadcast of men's lacrosse where the Braves take home a win. Folks, have a great week, and we'll see you at the next game.
All righty. We'll see you later, guys.